A young boy spent his summer holidays with his grandmother, who lived in a quiet village surrounded by lush greenery. Every morning, they would take walks in the garden, and the boy would ask his grandmother endless questions about life. One afternoon, as they were sitting under a tree, the boy asked, "Grandma, how can I grow up to be wise and strong?" His grandmother smiled softly and said, "I can show you the way." She then led him to a small gardening shop nearby and bought two tiny saplings. Once they returned home, she planted one in a cozy corner of her greenhouse and the other in the open yard. She turned to the boy and asked, "Which one do you think will grow taller and stronger?" Boy thought for a while before replying, "The one in the greenhouse, of course. It's safe, warm, and away from harm. The other one will have to deal with harsh winds, rain, and maybe even animals." The grandmother chuckled, her eyes twinkling. "Let's wait and see," she said mysteriously. The boy went back home after his summer break, and as the seasons changed, he almost forgot about the plants. Years passed, and the boy, now much older, returned to visit his grandmother. Remembering their old conversation, he asked, "Grandma, do you still remember those saplings we planted? Which one grew stronger?" Without a word, the grandmother took his hand and led him to the greenhouse. The plant inside had grown tall, its leaves bright green, but it was thin and fragile, leaning against a wooden stake for support. Then she took him outside to where the second sapling had been planted. To the boy's amazement, a towering tree stood before them, its trunk thick and sturdy, its branches stretching wide, offering cool shade beneath its boughs. The grandmother looked at the boy and asked, "Now, which plant do you think is stronger?" The boy gazed at the tree in awe. "The one outside," he whispered. "But how did it grow so strong when it faced so many challenges?" His grandmother nodded. "That's exactly the point, my dear. The plant in the greenhouse was protected, but never tested. It didn't have to push through strong winds or stretch its roots deep into the earth for stability. It grew tall, but it became weak, needing help to stand straight. The plant outside, though, faced storms and scorching heat. But those challenges forced its roots to dig deep, made its bark tougher, and its branches more resilient. Every hardship it faced made it stronger." She continued, "Life is the same. If you always stay where it's safe and comfortable, you might grow, but you won't develop the strength to stand on your own. The trials you face will help you grow deep roots, and even though they may seem tough at the time, they're what make you strong enough to withstand life's storms." The boy looked at the sturdy tree once more, understanding his grandmother's wisdom. He realized that the challenges he had feared were not obstacles, but opportunities to grow stronger, just like the tree outside. The grandmother smiled, seeing the spark of understanding in his eyes. As they walked back to the house, she gently reminded him, "Remember, the storms of life may bend you, but they'll also make you unbreakable." The boy held that lesson close to his heart, knowing that every struggle he faced would only deepen his roots, making him stronger for the future ahead. True strength and wisdom come not from avoiding challenges, but from facing them head-on, allowing life's trials to shape us into something stronger, just as storms make the roots of a tree grow deep and resilient. In the storms of life, we find our strength.